Hello and welcome to News Plus on Viewer Television. My name is Patient City. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark Food Day amid worsening food crisis that is spreading like a wildfire across the country and forcing many into begging for alms just to have a meal, stakeholders have urged President Bola Tinubu administration to quickly arrest the situation before it degenerates further. Although climate change issues have impacted food production globally, however, years of neglect of the agricultural sector and other reliance on imported food items have worsened Nigeria's situation, more so in the face of the raging foreign exchange crisis that saw the naira exchange for the dollar at the parallel market between 1,005 naira per dollar and 1,025 naira per dollar as at least Tuesday. The situation has seen the standards of living of Nigerians plummet, with many opting to migrate in search of greener pastures, now known locally as Japa syndrome, while those still chiseling life out in the country keep wondering if the government is aware of their conditions. A few months ago, a joint report issued by the World Food Programme (WEP) and the Food and Agriculture Organization revealed that over 24.8 million Nigerians will be at risk of acute food insecurity between June and August. Airstrikes by the Nigerian Air Force NAF fighter jets have killed several Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists in Borno State. The airstrike also destroyed 6 terrorist gun trucks and 40 motorcycles at their hideouts in Bukar Meram along the fringes of Lake Chad. NAV spokesperson Air Commodore Edward Gapquet disclosed this in a statement on Sunday, October 16. Gapquet said a stream of airstrike by NAV components of military operations across the country have continued to record successes. Consequently, airstrikes were authorized at the location in Bukar Meram to decimate the terrorists. Feedback received at the airstrike revealed the expected outcome was achieved as several terrorists were neutralized, while over 40 motorcycles and 6 gun trucks were destroyed. Troops of the Operation Hadarin Daji of the Nigerian Army, in collaboration with the operative of the Zamfara Police Command, have rescued 4 kidnapped students of the Federal University Gusau. This is contained in a statement issued by the Information Officer Operation Hadarin Daji, Captain Yahya Ibrahim in Gusau. Recall that the gunman had recently kidnapped 25 students of the same institution and 9 construction workers at the same community. The security operative has so far rescued 13 students and 3 construction workers, while the remaining victims were still in the bandits' captivity. The Nigerian Union of Teachers (NUT) has threatened to commence indefinite strike in public primary and secondary schools and by also over the 30,000 minimum wage and promotion areas. The union took the decision at the executive meeting on October 12 after an earlier 3-day warning strike failed to compel the Bayelsa government to act. The teachers had given a 14-day ultimatum to the government and local council to address the plight of teachers across the state or face industrial action. The grievances, according to the NUT, include inability of both state and local government to implement the 30,000 minimum wage and affect promotion of the primary school teachers in the state. The union said teachers were meted with untold hardship due to the non-payment of the promotion areas to the teachers. The branches of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) in Imo State have petitioned the Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetekun, over an alleged assault and unlawful detention meted out on one of their members, Chigozie Chinaka, by one ACP David Ogenyi, area commander of Owerri Municipality, and his men. In a press conference held at the Bar Center Owerri weekend, the Imo NBA demanded, among other things, the immediate suspension or transfer of ACP Ogenyi to allow unbiased investigation in the matter. Speaking on behalf of the association, Ogochukwu Alino, NBA chairman Owerri branch, said the bar officially received a writing complaint from our colleague Chigozie Chinakas on Saturday, 30th September 2023 at the monthly general meeting of NBA Owerri branch about the assault, humiliation, torture, and unlawful detention meted out on him by ACP David Ogenyi, the police area commander of Owerri Municipality, Imo State, and men under its command. We'll be taking a break, and when we come back, more news continues on News Plus. Do stay with us.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm at the Envoy Hotel, Diplomatic Drive 305, here for a business weekend. It's been an amazing stay. Conference hall and business facilities here are stylish and innovative. The Envoy Hotel is luxury, esoteric, opulence, for ultimate comfort.
Discerning travelers, we are more than just a place to stay. We are an icon of comfort, style, and thoughtful luxury. We are Envoy Hotel.
The Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has dismissed an application filed by the Independent National Election
Viewer television, now airing in FCT Abuja, Adamawa,
From Bauchi, following the order of
Youths in
for
Bauchi
the
under the
Boji, Boronu, Gombe, Plateau, Taraba. Viewer TV, news from a vantage point.
Welcome back from the break. If you're just joining us, this is News Plus on Viewer Television. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission has dismissed the report that it will adopt manual collation of a result for the upcoming governorship elections in Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi State. The Commission assured voters that it will transmit the governorship elections result electronically to its result viewing portal. Chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, made the clarification after monitoring at the mock accreditation exercise in Kogi State ahead of the elections. Recall that the Resident Electoral Commission for Bayelsa Oba Efenga had during an interactive session with religious leaders and faith-based organizations recently said the Commission planned to transmit results of the November 11 Bayelsa governorship election manually. While addressing journalists at the polling unit visited at Ganaja village, Ajokukta, Yakubu urged Nigerians to disregard reports that INEC will transmit the results of the governorship elections manually. National Chairman of the ruling All Progressive Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has vowed to protect the mandate of the party in Nasarawa State, stressing that the party won the 2023 gubernatorial elections in the state. Ganduje made this known weekend while speaking in Lafayette at the grand reception organized in honor of the Nasarawa State Chairman of the APC, Honorable Aliu Bello. According to the APC national chairman, who was represented at the event by Alhaji Muazu Rajo, national chairman, North Central, the party will protect its mandate in Nasarawa State. Also, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) have nabbed 2 wanted drug barons following weeks of intelligence-led operation across the country and outside Nigeria. A statement by the NDLEA Sunday disclosed that the drug lord Hakim Babatunde Salami, the overhead or the arrowhead of the Tajijin Babatunde Abioye transnational criminal organization, and Okafo Ikechukwu Williams were arrested on October 5th and 10th respectively. The statement also revealed that 2 other traffickers were nabbed for ingesting 175 wraps of heroin. The arrest of the wanted drug lord came on the heels of the interception of the consignment of cocaine and heroin buried in the bellies of 2 traffickers heading to Paris, France, and Doha, Qatar by NDLEA officers at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. The Jewish community and the Al-Habibia Islamic Society in Abuja distributed food items to 500 Muslims and Christian women in the spirit of Easter and the month of Ramadan. Speaking while coordinating the distribution of the food items, Habiba Ahmed, Director of Welfare and Endowment Foundation of Al-Habibia, said the gesture was aimed at lessening the difficulties the poor and vulnerable suffered during the month of Ramadan. She called all Muslims, especially the wealthy, to redouble efforts in assisting the poor and less privileged in society to reduce poverty in the country.
Today, as you've seen, we normally give aid to the less privileged, and that is what we are doing today. We do collaborate with Chabad Aid and NAIR and any other organization who deem it necessary to collaborate with us. We accept aid and we do the distribution. We have other activities like every Shaban we do distribution of zakat disbursement, and during Ramadan we have what is called the food bank. We divide raw food, cooked food. As at yesterday, we shared over 2,000, almost 2,400 packs of food. To be precise, 2,400 packs of food was what we packaged yesterday, and they were all distributed.
Also speaking, Rafa Salami, a volunteer with the Al Habibia Islamic Society, reaffirmed that the society over the years distributed food items to the less privileged in the Federal Capital Territory.
Those who want to give out charity always look for us. Chabad Aid looked for us, and they brought about 200 packs of food that we are currently distributing. In addition to the 200 packs they brought, we have another 300 packs here that we are going to distribute. As you can see outside, the crowd is overwhelming, and everybody will go home with something.
Other visitors to McPherson University and General Overseer Foursquare Gospel Church, Nigeria, Reverend Samuel Aboyeji has knocked the academic staff union of University ASU for kicking against inclusion of private universities as beneficiary of tertiary education trust fund. He said TED fund money are money realized from private sector, saying it is unfair to include private university as its beneficiaries. Tertiary Education Trust Fund is a body that is set by the federal government of Nigeria to arrest the root and rotten deterioration in the educational infrastructure occasioned by a long period of neglect and very poor resource allocation. Recall that ASU, during a two-day interactive session between TEDFON and all unions of beneficiaries, institution kicked against plans to include private universities as beneficiaries of financial interventions by the TEDFON. ASU said such a move will lead to the proliferation of private universities without quality. And now on the international scene. A shallow 6.3 magnitude earthquake rocked western Afghanistan. The U.S. Geological Survey said the latest to hit a region where entire villages have been flattened, over 1,000 killed by a series of tremors this month. The quake hit at 3:36 GMT, 33 kilometers, 20 miles from Herat City, the capital of the western province of the same name, the USGS said. You will recall that on October 7, there were another magnitude 6.3 quake and 8 powerful aftershock jolted the same part of Herat, troubling swathes of rural homes and killing over 1,000 people and wounding hundreds more. Days later, with thousands of terrified residents left without shelter and volunteers digging the survivors, another tremor of the same intensity killed one person and injured 130 others. More than 90% of those killed in the quakes were women and children. UNICEF disclosed last week the United Nations said more than 12,000 people were affected by the tremors. Lebanon, Hezbollah and Israel exchanged deadly border fire, with the Iran-backed group claiming responsibility for the strike that Israel said killed civilians. Further raising cross-border tension during Israel war and Gaza-based militants, the Israeli army closed the border area to civilians as tit for tat fire with Hezbollah and allied Palestinian factions in Lebanon intensified, killing more than 10 people in Lebanon and at least 2 in Israel since last Sunday. The IDF, Israel Defense Forces, responded with fire, destroyed Hezbollah position and source of the fire, an army spokesperson said. In addition, there were fire at an Israeli military position. There were no casualties. The IDF responded with fire to the source of the fire there too. Pope Francis called for humanitarian corridors to allow the delivery of essentials to the Gaza Strip, which is under heavy Israeli bombardment following a bloody attack by its rulers, Hamas. Alarm has grown about a humanitarian crisis in Gaza, where Israel have cut off water, food and power, vowing to maintain the complete siege until the hostage taken by the Palestinian Islamic militant group is freed. In the 8 days since Hamas government killed more than 1,300 Israelis in the attack, Israel has responded with a devastating bombing campaign that had claimed over 2,300 lives in Gaza. Humanitarian law must be respected, especially in Gaza, where it is urgent and necessary to guarantee humanitarian corridors and help the population, said the Pope after his traditional Angelus prayer in Rome's St. Peter's Square. Russian forces have made gains in the Ukraine offensive, President Vladimir Putin said Sunday, including in Avdiivka, a symbolic industrial hub where fighting has been fierce. On Sunday, Kyiv reported very heated fighting around Avdiivka Saturday, saying Russian forces had not stopped assaulting it for days in the attempt to surround its Ukraine. Last week said Russia had stepped up assault on the frontline city, which flies just 15 kilometers, 9 miles from Moscow, held Donetsk. Avdiivka had been a symbol of Ukrainian resistance since 2014 after it briefly fell to Russian-backed separatists. It has since marked the front line and was regularly bombed. Even before the offensive began in February 2022, Russian forces now control territory to the east, north and south of Avdiivka in a bid to push Ukrainian forces further from Donetsk. Malawians are on a high alert as they face the looming threat of the extreme heat wave set to push temperatures to a scorching 44 Celsius. Authorities are urging citizens to exercise caution by avoiding alcohol and caffeine, as these beverages can lead to dehydration in such extreme conditions. Other countries' meteorological service has issued a warning indicating that while the temperatures are not uncommon for October, they are expected to become both more frequent and severe due to the impacts of climate change. This dire situation mirrors the intense heat waves that have plagued regions in the North African Europe, the United States, and Mexico in July. Climate experts are sounding alarm for 2023, predicting it will be a record-setting year for warmth. This unwelcome milestone is attributed to ongoing emissions of warming gases and the influence of El Nino weather events. And that's how much we can take on News Plus. My name is Patient CD. Many thanks for watching. Do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.